region, Israel, if Morsi assumes power as president of Egypt. Joining me now, Ambassador John Bolton. He's the former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, ambassador coming to us from the grand city of Paris. Welcome back to the program, sir. This guy Morsi, he was educated here in the West, in the United States, and yet when you look at, sort of his list of highlights, the one that jumps out at me is he wants the United States to hold a scientific conference so we can determine the real culprits behind the 9/11 attacks, because he doesn't believe it was Al-Qaeda. That doesn't sound good.
No, that's not a good place to start. Look, he's the Muslim Brotherhood candidate. It's a radical political movement, and although they try to appear moderate for Western media eyes, the consequences if Morsi wins, both domestically in Egypt for the Coptic Christians, for example, and internationally, particularly with respect to Israel, could be very, very serious indeed. But I have to say, it is far from a foregone conclusion that Morsi will be declared the winner. In fact, maybe the electrons got here to Paris a little bit more quickly than New York, but apparently El Aram, which is an official government newspaper in effect, is saying that his opponent, Ahmad Shafiq, will be declared the winner tomorrow by the army. Now, that's just Al Aram, but it's a pretty official voice for the Egyptian government. That could really set up a true confrontation here.
Right, because now they're fighting the Muslim Brotherhood and those who support this guy Morsi, who are in Tahrir Square, against the military. And they're saying that the choice facing these Egyptians, in many folks' view, is a choice between a military dictatorship or a theocratic dictatorship, all exchanged for a dictatorship they had under Mubarak. So how much progress have we made?
Or the two sides could cut a deal and share power and have a joint dictatorship. And that's why I think what you see going on now is a form of bargaining. The military, as you said a moment ago, got a court ruling, in effect dissolving the parliament. They're now going to decide who won the election. The Muslim Brotherhood is doing, at this point, the only thing they can do, turning out large numbers of people in the street. That demonstrates their popular support. And I suspect behind the scenes what you've got going on is a lot of negotiation between the Brotherhood and the military.
The Muslim Brotherhood had won a number of seats in Parliament. Again, their candidate still claims to have won the presidency there. They say, and this is the most extremist group, I mean, none of them are exactly pro-West, but some more than others. But even the Muslim Brotherhood candidates are saying that they will abide by the 1979 peace accord with Israel, and they're using the right language about Israel. Are we to believe it?
Well, they've said that they don't want to abrogate the Camp David Accord in its entirety, but all of them, including the defeated candidates from the first round, have said they want major changes in it, and you can judge that accordingly. But again, as you said a moment ago, the first thing the Muslim Brotherhood said was they weren't going to run for president at all. That didn't last very long. So I think that this is a period of enormous uncertainty. One thing you can say for sure, pro-Western Democrats are not going to emerge from this on top.
They've also said, the Muslim Brotherhood said they're not going to run for the presidency, then they do, and, either came close to one or did win. We'll find out in a couple of days. They say that they're going to, back the peace treaty with Israel, but then this guy Morsi has called Israelis vampires. They have cracked down on Christians in a way that we've given a lot of coverage to, and yet this guy Morsi is claiming he will have some Christian advisors in his cabinet. I mean, are we to trust the actions or are we to trust the words?
Well, the Muslim Brotherhood didn't fall off the turnip truck yesterday. It's been an extremist organization in Egypt for a long time, and it's had a very strange modus vivendi with the military. Even though it's been repressed, they've had an understanding of what each is allowed to do. That's why I don't discount the possibility that ultimately you could see the military and the Muslim Brotherhood cut a deal to share power. And I think that's what worries people most of all in the pro-Western community, because they're going to get the worst of both worlds at that point, especially the Coptic Christians.
What a difference in terms of United States and Israeli relationships with Egypt, a key ally. Au revoir. It's like all I know how to say in French. So see you later. Well, coming up.